Okay, so today I'm going to show you how I like to put stickers in resin. And when I do this, I like to work from the bottom up, which is not the usual way that you do things with resin, but I like to be able to stick the sticker down so that I'm not fighting with the sticky part. So what I do first is I prep the base. And I'm going to be using letsresin UV resin, like usual. And I'm going to be doing a white background. So I'm going to be using a little bit of the Casting Craft white pigment. And I only use a little, otherwise the resin will not cure and you're going to hear my ice machine. Because I need to refill my ice water. Now I'm only making a little bit of the white resin because I'm only going to be doing this one piece with the white today because I have other projects planned for the day. I may make videos on them later, but they take a long time to make. I'm decorating some wooden boxes today. And I do all the staining and things myself. So I'm just gonna pour a thin layer of the white on here. And it's okay if I get a little bit of the glitter and things that are in this cup. I don't mind that. If I did, I would have cleaned the cup. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna cure this, and then I will be back. Okay, so I cured that for a full 5 minutes because it was an opaque piece. I'm gonna make sure that it's cured. Yep. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my tweezers, and this is the butterfly I'm gonna use. And I'm just gonna peel it. Now, these stickers are very old. I have a very large sticker collection. I've been obsessed with stickers since I was little, just like doing art. I'm gonna just tap this down. The reason I use white is because then you can't see the outline of the sticker as much. These stickers are by the Paper Studio, but I got them several years ago, so I don't know that they even make these ones. And I'm just gonna push this down. I want to make sure that it's really, really on here. And the reason I put it so high like this is because we're not just gonna put the sticker here, because that would be boring. And I don't try to make my things boring. I try to make them interesting. Some of my stuff can be a little boring because not everybody likes what I like. So I'm gonna put a little bit of glitter, a little bit of resin. I like glitter. That's why I was gonna say glitter. And then I have these flowers. You've seen me use these before. And we are going to surround at least the bottom part of the butterfly with flowers. Because most places you find a butterfly is in a garden. Now I'm going to do a couple layers of flowers, so I don't want to put a bunch in this layer, because if you layer them it will add more dimension, which will add interest. And I'm going to use different colors, obviously ones that are in the butterfly and ones that go with the butterfly. Okay, so I dropped my white flower. There it is. I think we'll put it this way. Actually, no, the white doesn't really work. It gets lost. I don't know what I was thinking there. But you need to watch because flowers like to migrate. And I don't want to cover that butterfly up. Okay, I'm going to do one more flower and then I'm going to cure this and then we'll do the next layer. I actually think what we're going to do is this red right here, and we'll move these over. I just want to make sure I get all the bubbles. See, with these ones, I never know what the top or the bottom is. So I just do what I think looks better. Alright, I'm going to cure that. I'll be back. Alright, now for what I'm going to do for this layer is I'm going to use some of these, but I'm not going to use them like this. I'm going to cut them off the hole to kind of fill in some of the blank areas. Actually, and I can add a couple more. So there's actually a lot of space right there. And like I said, I do want it to look like a garden. Flowers like to float. You really got to push them down. And I add one more cure and then I'll do the other ones. I didn't realize how much space I actually had until I added the resin. Actually, I think I need a little something right there. Perfect. Okay, I'm gonna cure. I'll be back. Okay, last layer we're gonna add, well, the last layer with flowers, we're gonna add the resin. Because after this layer, we're gonna add a doming layer, just to dome it, because there'll still be a little indent after I cure it. At least there should be. So just spread out my resin. Now I'm going to take my tweezers and I'm going to do the blue first. I'm just going to cut just a couple little flowers in a couple colors, and then we'll cure it and see where we're at. But we should have beautiful layers. One more color and then I will place these where I want them. Because right now it's just covering up all the other flowers and we don't want that. Let's actually add just a little bit of white. We can add a little white now because of all the other colors. And, oh, I am not right-handed, so I'm holding on to things with my non-dominant hand right now, which makes it a little bit more tricky for me. There. And I'll just cure this in the other side and I'll use it in a different project. Same with that white flower. I'll just use it in a different project. I won't throw them away. Alright. So I cleared my scissors off. I'll give them a good wipe with alcohol after. So let's spread these out so that it's not just a big clump of flowers. I thought that was a cat hair. Alright. So I'm going to go ahead and cure. Then we should have one more layer. Pop that bubble. Alright, let's cure this. We should have one more layer and then it'll be done. Yeah. So I'll be back. Okay, so that's all cured now. I'm going to do one more layer. We'll do a final cure and then I'll be back for the unmolding. The piece all cured. Let's unmold it and see what we got. I'll have to clean up the ends just a little bit right here. But otherwise, you can see the layers of the flowers from the side. But it's very difficult to tell that you started with a flower or with a sticker. So what I suggest, if you're gonna use a sticker that has a background attached to it that isn't almost transparent like what I used, you're gonna want to choose a background for your resin piece that matches, because then it'll make it very difficult to tell that you started with a sticker. And with that, I am going to wish you a good week. Please subscribe, like, and have a great day. Thank you for watching.